What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson, and you're listening to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. So here's the real mystery. How do real MLMers like us, who didn't cheat and only bug family members and friends, who want to grow a profitable home business, how do we recruit A players into our downlines and create extra incomes, yet still have plenty of time for the rest of our lives? That's the blaring question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. And I've been a little bit sparse as far as publishing here lately, but anyway, hopefully it's been a great week so far. And funny enough, I say that, and it's literally Monday morning. Monday morning is my favorite time of the week, and which is kind of weird, I know, but it's true. I'm so excited about what I get to do every day. I wake up just smiling, and funny enough, most people will wake up, and luckily, those of you guys, you're in this game, you enjoy it. If you're still in the 9 to 5, like I totally, I've been there before. I understand where you've been, where you are, and if you're like, man, I really want to get out of here. I got a message, I think it was yesterday, from somebody reaching out saying like, hey, Steven, I listened to all your shows, and just so appreciate it. It's awesome. Do you really think that I can make it though? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, is it weird for me to just know that things are just going to get better and I can just, it's not weird at all for you to just know it's going to get better, first of all, and have some, gumption about it, and that's okay. Number two, if you don't feel like it's going to get better, that's an issue. But the biggest thing is that you can't just feel like it's going to get better. You have to force it to get better. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I was kind of telling that a little bit. Hey, I got something kind of cool for you guys today. I want to share with you. Kind of something I noticed. I've been at a lot of events recently, and so I've got a piece of feedback about the event that one of the events I was at. I'm about to go to a fourth one in the last month here. I've just been traveling like crazy, speaking, traveling. More speaking, more talking, more selling. It's been fun, and I've really enjoyed it. And great to have those of you guys who were in the Secret MLM Hacks program. We've had some great experiences in there so far. It's been a lot of fun. Anyway, hey guys, I wanted to tell you guys some feedback from one of these events. And one of the reasons I'm telling you that I've been to so many events lately is because I don't want you to guess which event I'm talking about, because it's not necessarily negative, but I can see how the person would be a little bit embarrassed. And I'm not doing this to poke fingers at somebody. I'm not doing this to put anyone down. I'm trying to make this a learning opportunity. And so what I want to do real quick is I want to walk through a pitch that I recently saw from stage. And I've watched a lot of people pitch in the last month. So again, please don't try and guess. I'm not trying to shame the individual. This is a very powerful learning experience, and I hope that what I hope this helps you guys understand is ultimately why people feel weird when you start pitching your product to them. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, and I wanna walk through, and I want to teach you the reason. How should I say this? I want to teach you how to get around that so that it's not weird when you pitch people your product. Okay, you know that awkward feeling? There's a reason it happens. Okay, and I was at an event, and it totally happened. Okay, this guy got up and he was talking. Then all of a sudden he starts talking about prices and these different things, and I was like, wait, he's pitching? Weird. I was like, I turned to my friend and I was like, Is this guy pitching right now? I would have been none the wiser. I had no idea he was pitching. Huh. That right there is one of the major reasons why people feel weird when you start pitching your MLM, right? Or we start pitching your MLM's product. They don't even know. It's completely from left field. They have no idea. So how do you get people to accept and be okay with you pitching and know that you're pitching, right? You know what I mean? And how do you do that? And there's very, very interesting, clever ways to do it. So what I did is I started talking with a whole bunch of people, and I was like, hey, watch what this individual is doing right now. Watch what they're doing, because learn about what this person is doing. You guys want to know why he's not nailing this, and this is why. And I wrote out a big list, and I just wanted to say this here on this podcast, but please, again, understand that I'm not pointing fingers at any individual person. I'm not pointing at any individual company. I've been in a lot lately, and it's straight out of a learning thing that I'm trying to do this case. So I'm not going to say any names. I'm keeping this completely anonymous, and please do not come to me asking because I won't tell you, okay? So number one thing I noticed from this person as they started pitching is that, first off, we didn't know that he was pitching. And it was really, really awkward, really, really weird, right? I'm sure you guys have been in those scenarios before where you're in a home meeting or you've been in those kinds of things, and someone's doing a great job talking about their MLM. They're doing a great job talking and telling some stories about it, which is very, very powerful as well. And then they get to this pitch. You know, I love being pitched. I am a sucker for being pitched. I don't even care if the pitch is bad. I like buying stuff, and usually good entrepreneurs are good at buying stuff. And it's one of the reasons they know how to sell is because they buy so much stuff themselves. There's some major truth to what I just said there. That could be a whole episode. Anyway, so just get good at taking your wallet out and buying some stuff to seeing how they're selling people. You know what I mean? That's why you buy stuff frequently. Anyway, so I was watching this guy, and first of all, I did not realize that he was even pitching. Okay. Second of all, the entire thing happened, and I'm watching them. I'm sitting there on stage, and I'm watching this guy on stage, and there was literally no testimonials. Literally no testimony. If you guys, again, you ever been in those awkward home environments where you get to suddenly the spot where you're going to start pitching and talking about prices and things like that, and you get all awkward, red-faced, your blood starts to boil, you start talking fast, you get your throat starts seizing up, you can't stay relaxed, you know that everyone can see that you're not staying relaxed, you talk real fast, and you're like, if you want it awesome, and you kind of just get off talking about it. I'm sure you guys have done that before, right? I have, right? I had to learn how to pitch. I had to learn how to do this in a way where it wasn't awkward for people to listen to me. And I had to do it in a way where I didn't feel weird about it either, you know? So the first thing I noticed, right, is that first of all, I didn't realize he was pitching, and he totally did that. He started getting all nervous and like started talking fast, and I was like, he was like hard to follow. He's jumping around all over the place. Like, what's going on? And I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's pitching, and he's slightly train wrecking it. Oh, interesting. And found out that he closed like not even 5% of the room. And anyway, there's a lot of people in there. Should have made a crap ton of money. He did not. And I know because I walked up to the back and I bought because I wanted to see what they were selling. But I figured out, I kind of coaxed it out of the person. I was like, so how many people bought this? And like, oh, enough. And I was like, no, seriously though. Like, I don't know, like, is it like 10? Is it like 20? Like, don't worry about it. I was like, is it like maybe less than 30? They're like, yeah, probably around that. I was like, it's like more than 10. Like, yeah, like closers are usually good at getting information out of people, regardless. Anyway, so first of all, there's no testimonials. If you are literally telling your entire thing and you have no other person that you can talk about results for, that's going to be a problem and a huge issue because if you're your own word, you know what I mean? Like, if they know who you are, okay, that's a little bit different. But I'm trying to teach you guys how to pitch people who you've never met before. You know what I mean? That's like the whole purpose of Secret MLM Hacks, the actual program itself, is it teaches you how to pitch one to many instead of one to one. Right? Talked about that several episodes ago. Second thing is that the individual was selling with logic and not emotion. Nobody buys off of logic. So if you're selling logically, which means you're getting feature-based, you're like, well, the product has this feature, which means it's better than anything else over here. It's like, okay, those are like very, very, very minute things that maybe will pull someone over the edge after they're kind of considering to already buy it. Okay? Nobody buys off of features. Don't get feature driven about the product that you're selling. Okay? I have no idea why certain products I take, like what's under the hood. You know what I mean? Like what's actually, I just know that they work. That's all that someone usually wants to know. Unless you're selling somebody who's an engineer. Typically engineers are harder to teach, they're harder to sell to because they're so logically brained. They have no emotional part of their noggins. They're extremely smart, but they're hard to sell. And they usually have a hard time selling also because they can't get emotional. Okay? So if you're selling logical, it's not going to work. Okay? Next one. There were no trial closes, meaning he was not getting us to say yes. Does that make sense? You guys understand what I'm saying? I hope you guys see how this could apply to your life. You starting to understand why this is actually a better way to pitch. You're starting to feel it. Okay, I'm trial closing you right now. How many times did I just get you to say yes? right? It doesn't matter what I get you to say yes to. It is shown. It is proven. I did that on the door-to-door sales. When I did door-to-door sales, I did that on the doors like crazy, okay? Oh, it's a nice day out, isn't it? Oh, man, it's amazing out here, right? Do you guys like living here? It seems like a nice place, right? I just got them to say yes like 5 times, and it matters. The first time that you're asking them to say yes to you should not be when you're asking for their credit card, right? If you get them, and what's funny enough is I would nod to people on the doors, and I wouldn't even be asking a question. I would just slowly nod, and they'd start nodding with me, okay? There is an element of truth to that, okay? It's not like what makes the sale, but there's an element of truth to that, okay? There was 0 trial closes. We were just being talked at, not talked with. Does that make sense? Don't talk at people, talk with them, okay? So what they were doing, this person was doing he wasn't really doing what's called a stack. I think he was trying to. A stack is where you sell one thing, and then you give a bunch of bonuses away also when, so you would normally have to spend a crap ton more money to actually get all the stuff, and you're getting it as like a big price deal. Well, this person wasn't really pulling it off, meaning they didn't convince us that the price was worth what they actually said it was worth. So when they did a big price drop, it didn't matter anyway. And it was like, oh, well, that was not, you didn't price anger it to literally anything. Anyway. The one of the biggest, and then there's 2 more I want to say, and then let me wrap this whole thing up here. I hope this is making sense. First of all, so please apply this to what it is that you're doing inside your MLM. I should have just chosen 1 or 2 or 3 things here, but I wanted to just kind of go through the list. I literally wrote the list down because I was like, oh, please observe what this individual is doing that's wrong, because it's a big lesson. One of the biggest things that they taught us how to do the very thing that they were selling, rather than what it is. The problem with that is that there's literally no reason for me to buy it afterwards. You know what I mean? There's no curiosity. The moment you take away curiosity, there's no reason to purchase. Okay? Curiosity, urgency, scarcity, those are the tools that you have. Those are the weapons you have as a salesman. And please know, you are a salesman or woman. You are. Okay? Every person is. Okay? Doesn't matter if you're selling a product or the fact that you should go to this movie versus that one. Everyone's a salesman. Own it. Don't be ashamed of it. It's the most prestigious, career that I know of. Okay? Salesman. Right? I was brushing my little girl's teeth. She's 4 years old. I'm totally indoctrinating them. Like, look, little one. Besides mother, besides wife, besides things about the family, besides things about individual progression, salesman is the most prestigious thing you can be. And I was like, my wife started laughing, and I started laughing too, and my little girl was laughing. She's like, okay, daddy. I was like, but there's actually some truth to that. I hope you know that. And anyway, I know that sounds kind of weird, but like, it's true though, okay? One of the reasons why this person did not sell hardly at all, and I think he just got some mercy sales, was because he taught us exactly how to do the very thing he was selling. Okay, and because of that, and he dove into each one of these pieces, and he was trying to logically show us how much value there was inside of it. That's not how stuff sells. If he had just told stories and showed some testimonials, then built up the value and convinced us, throughout that it was actually worth the amount that he was saying it was worth. When there was a price drop, there would have been more people going to the back, but he didn't do it. It was one of those awkward pitches I've ever seen in my life. And it was so stark that I had to talk about it with my team. And I was teaching the lessons too, and I was like, I should just kind of talk about this everywhere. But I don't want this to be something that goes back to the individual, and I'm not trying to be like, anyway. But anyway, one of the biggest things, okay, and I started this out by promising you guys that I'd show you how, I want to tell you guys how real quick to actually start pitching somebody without it being awkward. And the easiest way to do it is to literally ask permission. Okay, but you don't start saying like, hey, do you mind if I pitch you for a little bit? Everyone's going to say no. Okay. Instead, just say, hey, do you mind if I spend like 5-10 minutes going over something cool I put together for you? That's it. Now they're expecting it. That's it. That's literally the magic question. If you come and you've been watching my web class selling secret MLM hacks, that's how I ask it. I don't want to get weird. I'm just open about it. Rather than trying to hide it and like do this sleight of hand thing, like total bait and switch thing, just be open and honest. Look, I got something cool. Can I spend a few minutes telling you about it? Yeah, and if you built up the value and you've told stories and you've been open, a little bit vulnerable here and there, right? It's not weird. And then I can stand in front of somebody and I can say, look, I've got this and this is the value of it and here's why I put it together this way. And then I got this and here's the value of that. And I decided to toss it on there. It's total value of this, but if you just get it now, it's only this amount. Now they're okay being pitched. You've literally asked permission. They've literally said, yes, please tell us your thing. Okay. One of the reasons, oh my gosh, it's one of the major reasons MLM and I'm being open and I'm being real. Okay. One of the reasons MLM sometimes gets the rap that it does, when sometimes someone gets embarrassed about it or they feel weird about it, is because they're not asking permission to pitch. And because of it, it makes the other person feel awkward. They're just trying to get out of there. Right. And then it shatters the confidence of the individual who is pitching. And now they don't want to do it anymore. Okay? So the easiest way to go around pitching this as far as top level structure, I know I've told you guys several of the tips, things like that throughout this podcast show, but one of the easiest ways to do it is literally tell the story of why you are consuming the product yourself. And I don't mean talk about the freaking features. I mean, what was your life like before taking the product? Take us through a journey. Okay. And then when you get to the end, be like, do you mind if I tell you about it? Just, 5 minutes here, just tell you about kind of the cool thing they got going on. Most likely, even if they're polite and just say yes, it is now no longer awkward. And you can say, hey, hey, thanks so much for listening. Look, they got, usually it's this amount, but they got this cool promo thing going on. Every MLM's got promos going on, right? They got this cool promo thing going on. If you want to, just try the product out. Even this thing is until tomorrow, or whatever. It's like half off or something. You want to try it? I don't know. And as soon as you do it that way, oh my gosh, you guys, it's so much better. It's so much better. It's one of the greatest secrets to me pitching that I could ever give you. When I was first taught this, I was hiding in the basketball stadium box office seats of the college I went to. And I was sitting, and the reason why I was hiding up there is because there's good internet. It was dark. Literally no one bothered me. I could stay there. I hid up there because I would stay up there way past the building close time. I only got caught a few times, and they got mad, and they're like, don't come back. And I just came back for a year and a half every day. And I would go up there, and I'd hide up there, and I was listening to someone talking about how you pitch things, both in person but also on the internet, and learning that literally just by asking permission, it takes away all the weirdness. And in fact, it was funny when I learned it. I was like, oh, that's why I was good at the door-to-door sales thing, because I would never start talking about price without them saying it first. Okay, meaning here's what I would do. On the doors, when I was with door-to-door sales guy, I would literally, and even when I was a telemarketer, guys, I was good at telemarketing. This is one of the reasons why. It's one of my tricks for all of it. It doesn't matter what you're selling. This is one of the tricks, is getting them to ask the price from you. Okay, that was one of the ways I got them engaged in the sales process. That's a buying question, right? Meaning their intent is they're asking about the buy. They're asking about the possibility of purchasing. So now they start to ask those kinds of questions. When they start asking those kind of questions, you know that like 50% of the time, at least you're going to be closing that person. Okay. But you can't lead with that. You need them to ask those questions. You need them to have the epiphany in their head and start asking you, well, how much is it? As soon as they ask that, oh man, it's going to be pretty easy to sell them. They've already sold themselves at that point. Okay. And so I would go up on the doors and I would start talking about how cool it is and how much the stuff, and I would start telling stories, and I'd talk about their neighbors who are doing X, Y, and Z with it. And I'd say, and as soon as they'd say, well, how much is it? I would never come out and say, here's the actual price, ever. Instead, I'd say, well, the answer is always, it kind of depends. How big's your home? All right. They're selling pest control. Oh, it's about this size. Oh, awesome. And I'd stand and I'd step next to them and I'd turn the focus over to a price sheet, so that the focus was no longer on me at that point. And when I had that, man, it's awesome. Right? That's when I'd close them really, really quick. So anyways, that's all I'm trying to help you guys understand with this, is that if you've been like having these awkward experiences pitching your stuff, it's because no one is giving you permission to pitch them. That's the reason why. And if you want to get past that, ask permission. I'm not saying you literally say, can I pitch you? But if you literally say, can I, you start telling your story and you talk about it genuinely, how it has actually helped your life. And if your product has not, it's going to be hard to sell it. You better have some great testimonials from other people. You know what I mean? There's been several people who reached out and go, well, my MLM doesn't allow X, Y, and Z. It's like, well, now you need to change your MLM. You know what I mean? If you're not going to adhere to the actual stuff that sells stuff the best, business only stays in business if you get more leads and sales. You know what I mean? Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. I'm just trying to help you understand that like literally, this whole game gets a whole lot more fun, and it's no longer awkward when someone gives you permission. And don't assume it. And so what you got to get good at is two things. Number one, telling stories, because that will pull someone along emotionally. And then number two is literally the transition into the pitch. And the transition is easy as just saying, hey, I got a quick question for you. Or I don't know, I got this question for you. Do you mind if I spend just, 5-10 minutes just telling you more about kind of like a cool package they have for this? And if you can say that, or a version of it, confidently, and not be weird, and just be open and real about it, and you've been to an emotional place prior, it drastically increases their chances. I have rarely ever had anyone tell me no to that question. And when they tell me the answer to that, then I say, cool, yeah, I just don't ever want to tell anyone without them kind of giving me a little permission first. And I say that. I don't want to assume, and I'll say that. And I'll be nodding, and I'll be nodding while I say it. They'll nod with me. It's another trial close, and then we'll move on. I'll say, well, cool, it's this. It's called blank by blank. And this is what it does. And the reason they did this, and I go back into a story about it, okay? And I tell some more testimonials about it, more experience from other people about it. And that's me pitching. And that's how I do it. And it's very, very effective. And it takes away the awkwardness. And you no longer see people as people to just pitch to, right? You need people to pitch to, but they need to give you permission, or else you get that weird feeling. And they get that weird feeling. And it gives you some weird internal feedback, and then you never want to do it again, and it starts to wreck the entire process. Anyways, guys, hopefully it's helpful to you. Again, I'm not trying to bag on the individual at all. I just wanted to be very, very open about why that person bombed so hard. There was a lot of reasons, but that was one of the major ones. All right, guys, go practice that. If anything, what I would do if I was you and I was listening to this for the first time, I would write that down. Literally write your story, write the transition, meaning you asking the question, do you mind if I spend just a few minutes just going over this? Awesome. Yeah, I don't want to assume or make it awkward or anything, so I don't like to do it unless someone says yes. It just a few minutes here, it's called this, and I just jump right into it, right? Then they're in an emotional state, so when I actually do a price drop, it's actually effective. And that's what I do. I would write it. I would literally go write that down and write through your process to stick it in your head. And I would read it morning and night for a while and start getting better results that way. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for being a listener. This podcast is becoming wildly popular, and I just appreciate the listens. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and hopefully it's been helpful for you and your journey inside this awesome industry. Awesome, guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Whether you just want more leads or automated MLM funnels, or if you just want to learn to get paid more for your product, head over to secretmlmhacks.com to join the next free training today.